The Mormon Church built a hotline for abuse cases, then used it to keep police out of the loop. Welcome back to Theocracy Watch, fellow skeptics, where we track the difference between faith's lofty promises and the harsh realities beneath. Today, that difference is a hotline built to protect the church, not its victims. The Church of Latter-day Saints, or the Mormon Church, is now under fire after the revelation of an internal trapdoor that reroutes accountability. In 1995, the LDS Church set up a so-called abuse helpline, but this hotline wasn't for the people who were impacted. It was for bishops and church leaders. When survivors or concerned members called the number, they weren't connected to law enforcement or somebody to, assist them. They were rerouted to the law firm of the Mormon Church named Curtin McConkie. I hope I pronounced that right. The church is
Curtin, if you're watching, sorry.
Shaking fists. Now, nearly 100 lawsuits have been filed in California alone, accusing the church of systemic abuse, cover-ups going back decades. Survivors say they were discouraged from reporting, manipulated spiritually, and sometimes outright silenced. Investigative reports reveal that local leaders were instructed to call the helpline first, where they were often advised not to contact police, even in clear cases of abuse. In at least one case, a bishop admitted to following that exact advice, allowing a confessed abuser to continue harming children. The church defends the hotline as a tool to help leaders comply with legal obligations, but critics say it functioned as a gatekeeping system, prioritizing legal protection for the institution over the protection of the child. And while the church claims this process ensures proper reporting, it will not release the data on how many calls were made or how many cases were ever referred to police. Talk about transparency. The hotline is still operational today. The church hasn't indicated any major reforms despite the lawsuits, the media exposure, and the long trail of trauma that has been left behind. The structure wasn't built to protect the flock. It was crafted to hide predators and protect the institution at the expense of those that they were supposed to shepherd. Victims were told to stay quiet, leaders were told to call Salt Lake, and lawyers were made the final call. A sacred strategy reminiscent of the injustice found in the Bible itself. So until next time, friends, stay curious. Isn't that wild?
That's insane.
Insane.
And it's familiar to me because J-Dubs did a similar thing, just with yeah. Wow. They did it with envelopes. I mean, they had a phone number too, people would call, but they would have papers you would fill out. You'd put it in a special envelope that would be sent up to the main office, the headquarters.
So if you were being abused by a member of the church, you would think you were reporting this person to a safe, secure hotline, when in reality, you're actually just exposing yourself to the law firm and all the people who, oh my goodness gracious.
Right.
How can they do that? How's that legal?
I guess it is legal because there is no law that states that anybody in the church has to report. They're not mandated reporters, and that is why they don't want these laws to be formed in the states, because once that happens, it's going to blow the whole thing apart. You know what I mean? If there's 100 just now, since this is broken, since 2024 and 25, just imagine if they had to report the abuse. My goodness.
Right. Dang. And of course, they're still fighting that all together.
Yeah.
One of your reports was on that alone.
Yeah, there's only a few states that they are mandated reporters. It's sad.
For something like that, there should be some witness tampering implications. Right? You were giving this information to the lawyers of the people who are the abusers, who are representing the abusers. That has to be aligned.
Right? Or, am I wrong?
Yeah. Like that. That's sick.
I don't know if you know this or not, but I host the Daily Atheist Morning Show here on YouTube. I have a couple of other co-hosts with me, Durante Lamar and Ryan Kultastic, and we have a lot of fun. When we first started hanging out, he would say, he'd say something like, yeah, we're kind of like Richard Pryor. And and Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, you're right. You make the perfect Gene Wilder to my Richard Pryor. And I just didn't know if I didn't know if he was getting it or not. Every time we would do something like that, I was like, man, me and you're like chess pieces. We're like, I'm the black pieces and you're the white pieces. And everybody would just ignore it and move on. I'm like, come on, people, I'm working here. I'm working. Live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern.